Anyway, after a little bit of a delay, we've got ArF, or ArF, versus BrT, B being the Brazilian team, Team B. ArF goes into this definitely being the favorites to win. You got Adafang, who's just an excellent all-around player. You got Leor, who's a pretty good Loki player. And then you got Torgal, who plays pretty good Atlantean and Egyptian. Today he is going Kronos. His teammate in the pocket, Adafang, is going Ra. And his teammate on the other flank, Leor, is Loki. Down the bottom you got the BrT team. You got a Ra on the flank, being played by, I guess I'll call it Jiu-Jitsu Jew. On the other flank you got Oasis player with Hades, a fitting name for the map they're playing. And in the pocket they got another Hades by the name of Obstinatus. So you got the Ra over here, which for on BrT's team you got the Ra as the flank. On ArF's team you got the Ra as the pocket. I'd say it's definitely helpful to have Ra as the pocket. A whole lot easier to set up the boom. The only downside is that it does take Ra a little bit to get some early aggression, just because the map's so large and it takes a while for Ra, especially as a fast heroic, to get any forward military. I'm going to minimize for just a second, make sure everything's working alright. I'm just going to load up the Twitch chat real quick. If anything isn't working right, put it in the chat. I'm just going to pop out the chat once we get this loaded up. Options, pop out. Close this so I don't lag too bad. And there we go. Alright. So what you'll probably see, back to the game, what you'll probably see is just the typical Herseer rating from Leor on this side. He actually should be able to do a pretty decent amount of damage. He's playing 3 defensive civs, but he should be able to do a real good job of making the opponent stay in their base, which is kind of Loki's main goal early on, is just to keep civs in the base. Gives his allies plenty of time to build up, take map control, and then launch a strong offensive. So I'd anticipate Leor will be doing quite a bit of aggression on both Hades players, which will allow Adafang then to forward build and launch a really strong heroic age attack. Over here, Ra versus Kronos, especially on Oasis, is in Ra's favor. However, I'm thinking that Torgal overall is just a better player than Jiu-Jitsu, so I would think that Torgal should end up on top, even though as far as the Civ matchup he is at a disadvantage. Looks like Torgal's doing a pretty early rush. Be advancing right around 4 minutes. It's not really a big fan of the 4-minute rush, especially against Ra. It's really not going to do much, because by then the Ra player is going to be pretty much in his base already. This is a little bit unusual, putting farms so early. It's not a very good economical choice. I really think pretty much in any situation in Oasis it's best to advance via Ptah and then use the cheap farms rather than advance through. He's probably going to advance through Bast, and he's going to be advancing very late. So you see the early aggression here, the triple oracles, which are just getting shot by the town center. Now the sentinels come in. He really should put a wall from here to here. See, I'm not a big fan of Kronos. He really should have built his shifted his buildings in between them that way, because I mean you anticipate, obviously you're playing 2 Hades, so you're gonna get a sentinel at the first town center you attack. So he should have shifted in between, that way you can force sentinels here and then easily transfer his army down here. So kind of a dumb idea to put his goats here. I mean, he should have just gathered them right here instead. I'm not sure what Jujutsu's doing. Yeah, he's gonna be hitting heroic at 6 or classical at 6 minutes. And over here, got some early Loki Herseer raids coming down on Green's Hunt, pushing him back into the base. So yeah, you should be able to get a decent amount of pretty good pressure. ArF, kind of a slow advance for heroic or classical. Should be a little faster in that. And this wall is built up just in time, so deconstruct. I mean, it's alright. It's not really going to do much in the long run. If he gets this too slow, he might not actually get his Sphinx out. But that's kind of probably the goal that Torgal was aiming, was to make the temple be down when he advances, which, because he's not empowering this, his temple isn't going to get built fast enough, so he is not going to get his free Sphinx. Continued pressure. Let me just check and make sure everything's okay. The voice up. Alright, I can turn it up. This is about as far as I can go, all the way to 100%. For those who are wondering, this is BrT's map. So BrT chose the first map. This is BrT's home map. This is game 1. In this first week, our week 1 matchup between BrT and ArF. ArF, one of the favorites to win the division. BrT just kind of probably one of the middle to lower ranked clans in the division. Just hoping to maybe steal a win with some good team play or good strategy. So far they're kind of struggling a little bit. Jujutsu's just got an incredibly slow advance. 7 minutes, he hasn't even used rain yet. And then over here, Leor's got him in defensive, and Oasis player hasn't even taken a second town center yet. Obstinatus got a second town center. He should be able to get a pretty good boom with all these goats that he has. So yeah, now he's taking the forward town center. It's a good idea, because at this point he's kind of done all the damage he's going to do. He's not going to do much more damage right in here. And he doesn't have plow, and he doesn't have husbandry, so that means his farms really suck. Over here, ArF is going for a 3 town center boom. Why not? This team is not going to be doing any sort of aggression at any point in time. Alright, he's getting Sacred Cats first. Okay, he finally does have plow, but husbandry is better to get first than Sacred Cats, but I'm guessing he doesn't have the wood for it. Husbandry is actually a pretty huge farming technology. Probably be doing rain pretty soon. So the ArF went up via Ptah to get the cheap farms. And ArF even gets the rain off first. Let's see if ArF's got both farm upgrades. Yeah, he does. So it's kind of looking to be kind of an early, just a defensive battle. This really isn't worth it. He's going to be losing way too many terma to make this worth anything. I mean, he does kill 2 villagers, but he's losing like 4 or 5 terma. Yeah, Obstinatus is the only BrT player that's taken a second town center. BrT's just going to be so far behind in economy so soon. Really, at this point, ArF could kind of choose to attack on either front, and it'll work out just fine. It looks like he's sending down to attack on this front. Yeah, we're not even seeing a heroic yet, which is way too slow. ArF's probably going to be going heroic fairly soon, and he's been at 3 town centers in comparison to Jujutsu's 1. Over here you got a little bit of dancing. between the Hersier and the Hades army here. At this point, I mean, this army is going to do pretty well against Leor. So what Leor should do is just move when they get their heroic age attack here. Leor should have his Hersier ready to go over here. A little bit of a whoopsie here for Adafang's forward building units. Probably should have sent his Pharaoh down to empower down there. I'm not even sure where is his Pharaoh. Oh, there he is, empowering gold. Yeah, he should have sent his Pharaoh down here to help empower. Alright, we're going for a 1030 fast heroic down here, which is going to be the exact same time as Adafang, who's on 3 town centers. Over here, Leor's just building walls just to kind of delay the aggression on this side. Yeah, I'm thinking Jujitsu is going to get rolled pretty hard once he gets heroic. Because Torgal should have deconstruct ready, which he can use to deconstruct this once he's ready to attack. Not sure why Adafang is doing barracks. He should be doing Migdal units. Green's just defending, but his army's kind of out of position. These are just going to run right back. If I score, BrT is actually kind of close, but Adafang with his 3 town center boom as Egyptian is just going to destroy the opposition. Though he is going full spearman, which I don't think is a good idea. Rather than spearmen, he should be doing like elephants or something. Here's a deconstruct. It's going to push Jujitsu off of this. So I mean, he doesn't at this point. Oh, that's going to be a nice locust. Oh wow. Yeah, that hurt. Yeah. Yeah, I should try to catch this Betsuchos too. So now Blue's kind of in a bit of a bind. His closest gold mine is back here, so he's not going to have any gold. And I think he kind of forgot about these units, just letting them sit here and die. It needs to kill that Petsuchos though, it's kind of big killing it. Nope. You got Leor over here, and these guys are all firing at the wall. You got these army up here. Yeah, Leor's in heroic age now. With just the battle boar, he's going to be able to prevent this and just keep him back. Decent heroic time for Oasis player, but it's not going to be enough. And down here now, Red's fighting a bad fight, losing units for no reason. Yeah, I mean, Jujitsu's just so far behind. When you compare the Raz, Jujitsu has pretty much half of Adafang's points at 13 minutes into the game. That's not good. So yeah, he should just pump siege now, and he just feel the tear through this base pretty quickly. In fact, I'd like to see the Hersier come around here and come in from the back. The flaming weapons from the back and the siege towers on the front. Ju will fall really fast. Just content with doing some raiding now. It's a pretty nice raid. I'm going to pick off about 5-6 villagers. Yeah, Jujitsu is now a full half the score of Adafang, whose score just dropped, so he's probably advancing somewhere. Or maybe he's just got a ton of units out. But yeah, here comes the siege. Blue doesn't have an army, but he does have double sentinels. He forced a defensive restoration down here. Yeah, he needs to just move all these up here, cast flaming weapons. Trader down on a Sphinx here. Yeah, see here, this is where the spearmen kind of fail with their pierce armor being so low. I mean, they're getting fired on by double sentinels, town center, and we've got the game kind of lagging up here. Obstinatus is some pretty heavy leg. This is gonna be a good raid here. Oh, don't stop. Come back here. He's running past their only gold mine. There he goes. Yeah, I mean, Jujutsu has no gold. This is about all he's going to be able to afford. 3 mercenaries. With this raid here, Jujutsu's not going to have any gold whatsoever. So yeah, look at all these siege towers. Should really pull them back right now, because they're taking so much damage from the villagers. But when you got so many, it's not as huge of a deal. He's kind of losing his army back here now. He needs to get him out of here. Yeah, he doesn't have any gold right now. Yeah, I waited too long to cast that restoration. This restoration does affect buildings too, so it could have healed up the town center decently. But too late. And over here, Leor's on the aggression over here. He's moving his hearse here back. Kind of hit this gold mine again. He's got the spy right there. But yeah, I mean, it's just won't be long before all this is history, and then the Jujutsu won't have anything at all. I mean, really what this came down to, this game, was just the difference in the Raws. I mean, ArF is just a much better player overall, and just did a much better build. Made his 3 town center boom, reached heroic age at the same time Jujutsu's 1 town center did. So I think we could probably safely say this game is over. Green's about ready to actually die on this side too. Leor should just cast flaming weapons right now and finish this off. Because Green's army is a little bit out of position. He's probably waiting to use flaming weapons just until they get here. But yeah, this guy dead on this side, almost dead on this side, so it's about over. He's trying to get mythic, but he's advancing the wrong town center. Kind of surprised he's not using flaming weapons. I mean, he would have, if he would have used flaming weapons earlier, he would have pulled down that town center so much faster and then been able to kill all these. Not that it really matters. Yeah, got pretty good military upgrades. ArF's got good military upgrades. He's got a real strong trade economy going already. Though this market isn't too good. He should have built his market up here and traded right here. The defensive locust. On this side, Green Oasis player actually defended fairly well. But Leor should have been able to prevent this, but he must not have seen the forward build over there. But yeah, I'm not quite sure why BrT is kind of just delaying the inevitable here. Yeah, the Fang should be almost mythic, 50% to mythic. Any flaming weapons going to be used here? No. He's kind of waiting too long to use flaming weapons. Unless I like missed it and he used it already. I don't think he did. No, he didn't yet. You have Turgal is already in the Mythic Age. Oh, nice shift. This should Vortex down here too. Turgal should use Vortex to back this up. Oh, he used Eclipse, I guess, to block the Vortex, which isn't a bad idea. And there he resigns. And resign number 2, and the only one we have is Obstinatus, being kind of obstinate. And there he goes. Alright, well that's game 1. Kind of a brisk 19-minute victory. Not quite as close of a game as I would have liked, but ArF, they got pretty good players individually, and they play a lot of team games too, so it's kind of expected for them to win. They won pretty well, pretty handily here. I know. Let me get out